My life as a writer for Roseanne was great. Too bad her tweet blew it for cast and crew. I was a writer on Roseanne back in the 1990s, and worked on 111 episodes of that show. We were no strangers to controversy back then. ABC largely left us alone because the show was an enormous hit, and they rarely, if ever, rejected anything we tried. There were a couple of episodes that the network vociferously objected to. The first that comes to mind was an episode called Lady's Choice in 1992, in which Roseanne and Jackie go to a gay bar and Roseanne is kissed by a woman. The script, by Zimmerman and James Berg, got a big no-way from the network. But we went ahead with it anyway, and the network ended up airing it. It remains a touchstone in the acceptance of the LGBTQ community in our culture. Another episode that was particularly troublesome for ABC was one in which Roseanne finds some marijuana hidden in the house. She, Dan and Jackie smoke it, get really high and act like paranoid fools. It was one of our funniest episodes and caused a lot of headaches at ABC. Which we, as writers, all enjoyed immensely. More, Roseanne Barr just learned that no one gets to be Donald Trump. Not even her. More, Roseanne just took an irresponsible slap at illegal immigrants. Do better, please. On a regular basis, the only people we really dealt at the network were what they call a current programming person, whose job it was, as far as I could tell, to keep ABC posted on what sort of tomfoolery we were up to so they could brace themselves there at headquarters in Century City for the inevitable backlash. The other person we dealt with worked in the Standards and Practices department. Standards and Practices is a polite term for a censor. Each week, this guy would tell us what words or phrases we couldn't use. My favorite objection he came up with was the time we used the word maroon. As in, what a maroon. It was used all the time in Bugs Bunny cartoons, but this guy managed to find out that the term originally meant an escaped slave and thus was objectionable. Who knew? Because the show ran on broadcast television, there were limits on words we could and couldn't use. There regularly were bargaining sessions over words. We'll cut that damn here if you give us a hell there. That sort of thing. In fact, in one episode, in a scene called The Credit Tag, Roseanne sat with the actual ABC Standards and Practices person and ran a bunch of terms for pennies past the guy to see which ones he would accept for the show. It was all in good fun. Ah, the innocent days of the 1990s. What we are dealing with here now is an entirely different matter. Roseanne referred to an African-American woman as the love child of an ape and Islamic extremists. Not so funny. In fact, utterly appalling. The show has been cancelled, and rightly so. Lots of innocent people who were just working on the show have lost their jobs. More, flashback, Roseanne is tackling important issues. Roseanne herself should pipe down. Policing the USA, a look at race, justice, media, and this isn't a free speech issue either. This isn't something you can negotiate away with a faceless bureaucrat. This is a cruel and devastating piece of racist crap that has no place in our society. None. As moms used to say when we were kids, it's all ha 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 until it's boo hoo hoo. A lot of wonderful writers, actors and crew members are out of work now, many of them friends of mine. Most will find work again and move on. But some won't. For some people, this may be the end of a career. And not because of anything they did, but because of the horrifying words of Roseanne herself. Roseanne needs to go away. She can't have a career anymore. This has to be the end, and the people who agree with her need to understand that. You can't bargain or negotiate this one away for something else. It was more than a bad joke, as Roseanne called it in her sort of apology tweet. It was a thumb in the eye of our society. David Rether was a writer on Roseanne in the 1990s.